Well, good morning. It is me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and I almost sound normal. This is Tuned in Tarot, and we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine inside of ourselves, understanding that whatever state we are in, we can expect to see this reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment. And if we want to see changes around us, we have to shift the energy within inside of ourselves. And I say it every day. And then I go, why is my life like this? Right after I do the readings. And then I'm like, oh, because I didn't shift my energy. Or if I did, I shifted it in a direction that it should not have gone in. You do it to yourself. You do that was the theme of Monday. Now we are on Wednesday, and Wednesday is when we remove obstacles. If you are brand new here, welcome. If you're coming over here from TikTok, I've been here for a while, so there's plenty for you to go and see. You can find me at pearlsprayers.com to book personal readings. This is going to be a one. And there's some exciting things. So first of all, you can become members today. The actual membership area is going to launch on Thursday, and it's going to develop over the next week. By the 1st of January, it should be pretty flashy. It's going to be kind of under construction a little bit. But the Spiritual Nourishment course is also going to be available for a soft launch on Thursday. This is a course that teaches you how to become the divine feminine, starting with nourishing yourself. So we talk about food and the body and different topics like that. And I'll probably read the description at the very end of this reading so you can all see if it's something you're interested in. And if you've already gotten a reading from me, hello, Elizabeth, you've probably received an email about it. So you know all about it. You're in the know. And membership is only $3.33. And it's going to enable you to view the Tell Me Everything spreads that I do twice a week. So if you want to see those spreads, you will have to be a member now, but it's only $3. And I do appreciate all the support. All right, let us begin. I'm looking at the obstacles. I was listening to the music, and I was like, this is definitely going to be one of those days. I also did a Tell Me Everything spread right before this reading. Cried already today in someone else's reading. The energy is very strong. I feel very much. I think my week off kind of like supercharged me for readings, so it should be fun. We, of course, come here for a reason. A lot of us want to reunite with a past energy or find out why we can't stop thinking about that past energy. Some of us come because we want to change our lives. We feel really stagnant. We want a new career. We just want something to change, and that brought us here. Bowie's new toy is going to be in the background for the whole thing, but it's kind of cute, so we're not complaining. Anyway, so there's a reason that you came here, and you're like, I want to be in Union, or I want a new job, or I want to move to San Francisco or out of San Francisco, whatever it is. And then the universe is like, ha, that's what you think you need, but this is what you really need. So all the messages that you're hearing today, this is what would really benefit you the most. Okay. It's only the 10 of Pentacles. It's just material happiness. And it's in the reading also. Okay. We are already seeing it popping up in the reading. So what's the 10 of Pentacles in this context? Well, in the Thoth Tarot, it says wealth. I do need wealth. That's bang on, universe. But wealth, of course, is not just material wealth. In order to manifest the 10 of Pentacles, you also have to have that 10 of Cups, because you have to have a vision that is a feeling place that allows you to get to the physical material place of the 10 of Pentacles. But we're assuming that we have the feeling in place, and now all we need to do is see that come to manifestation in our reality. And of course, we think we need that. This is one of those times when I pull the card and you're like, yeah, that's what I thought I needed. I need like material happiness. It's exactly what I need. Cool. Well, you're on the same page as the universe right now, but you're probably having a different idea about your happiness, because this card shows that material happiness is not that definable in like specific details, right? This is just coin. It's just material wealth. It's just like the potential for this to become anything. This is not being attached to what this looks like. Okay, so that's an important thing to keep in your brain. Let's begin. We're going to start. Oh, I guess we'll start with the Divine Masculine because he was coughing up a bunch of cards that like flipped over. And then on Friday, we'll start with the Feminine for the Empress spread. Okay, so Divine Masculine. How Obstacles Removed works is we start with the general energy of how you've been feeling. Like, this is why, like, this is where you're at and why there's kind of an obstacle sort of a thing. That's what we're looking at. In the headspace, we're using one of my favorites, the Tattoo Tarot. And in the heart space, we're using another one of my favorites, which is the Wise Dog Tarot. Both of these decks were a gift from Cheryl. Love you, Cheryl. Thank you so much. And if you'd like to send me a deck, you can go to pearlsprayers.com and click Tune In Tarot and send me a deck. Also, if you want to become a member, when you go to pearlsprayers.com, click on, I'm going to make it easier, but right now you have to click booking and plans and pricing. There's a plan there. And there's a link right now, I think in my Instagram stories that you can follow to get there. But I'm going to have to make the click through a little bit easier than that. However, that's how you become a member. And you can email me if you're like, what? And I'll just send you a link. So here's what the Divine Masculine general energy is like. Looks kind of familiar. There's death. And there's the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Looks like a shit show. But the death card, of course, is a good card. It's not a bad card. It's just how the Divine Masculine is looking at the death card right now. Right now he's looking at the Divine Feminine, although she's sad about it, has just allowed him to die. And his material happiness is lost. Good morning, Saffron. Okay, that toy's pretty great. All right, so I'm now going to read you the lyrics that the Divine Masculine decided to share with us today. And I was like, 100% I am in the collective today because here's the lyrics from his very sad song. The song was called Beautiful Head by The National. It's from one of their older albums. It says, you're walking taller than you should. The air is thin around your beautiful head. You're saying things with your mouth to me that I don't recognize. You're aware of yourself lately, redefining yourself, designing yourself. You haven't looked at me forever. Got a diagram of your associations, a strategy. You're weighing your options. What would you trade me for? You're measuring me lately, and I can tell I'm losing weight. You're measuring me lately. You're dressing me. Do not tell me I've changed. You're just raising your standards. Do not give me away. I am the same. I am the same. Have you found him? Have you told him everything? Does he say he feels bad about all this? You've shown tenderness for me to him. Do not tell me I've changed. You're just raising your standards. Do not give me away. I am the same. I am the same. There are over 17,000 tracks in my library. Over 17,000 tracks. That was the most applicable track to my situation that I have ever heard. I don't know about you. It's called Beautiful Head by The National. It's a really great song. The National is the best band, and they have the best drums ever. I love drums and drummers. All right. My Divine Masculine is like, shut up. Did you not hear the lyrics to the song? Don't talk to me about drummers. I don't really need to say more. Divine Masculine feels like the Divine Feminine raised her standards, and lo and behold, the thing that he was always afraid of, I'm not worthy, has become true. But it's not true because it's true. It's true because Divine Masculine is choosing to still perceive himself this way. And if you perceive yourself a certain way, well, then you're going to take all of the actions that you can in the world to make that true, make that real. But that's where Divine Masculine is blocked, and that's why we're here, to fix it. All right, let's fix this. Let's fix this. Now, I want you to close your eyes for a minute, because you heard those lyrics and you're like, oh, the divine masculine can see that I'm like looking at other options and is feeling like I'm not focused on him, and is, you know, being like, what do you mean? I've been here. It's solid, the same. I'm the same as I've always been. And now you're looking at it, I haven't changed. Like, I'm still the same. I just want you to know that that is your feeling. That is not the person. If you're here as a identifying in your feminine energy, it's not gender or biology, but a feminine energy, and you're hearing the masculine and getting salty, or hearing the masculine be salty, it's your own salt, right? It's your own feeling. You also feel like, excuse me, you're looking at other options. I'm the same. You told me you love me, and I'm this person, and now you're looking around, right? Mirror. Okay. Here's the obstacle for the masculine. Why am I not surprised? It is, I'm afraid I am not worthy. And I'm just like, oh, we still have to heal this. Every time this happens, I'm like, why? Why don't I feel worthy? What is it? What is it? And I must embrace that it is something that is deep and old. So that's why when I see it, I'm like, I don't understand. I'm completely worthy. Like, look at me. I'm fucking incredible. And there's a part of me inside that's like, no, you're not. I thought I dealt with you. And it's like, you didn't. And I'm like, yes, I did. And I didn't. What do you mean? I'm still here. So it might even be hard for you to understand how this is true, because you might be like, I am worthy. So it must be something that's going on in your head. The song today was called Beautiful Head. And Divine Masculine has got not a beautiful head right now. He's got a head that's filled with this back and forth battle in the mind, the masculine and feminine here. All his fears, all his anxieties, all of his worries, all of these things. And he's not sleeping. He's not sleeping because of what he did to the feminine, who's, look here, she's looking at the wounds she's received. Also, he's perceiving her as having blood on her hands, potentially, because in the song we heard she's assessing other options, even though he knows she has to do that because he doesn't feel worthy of her to be an option. The singer in the song is singing himself out of that feminine's life by saying, you know, oh, I can see you think better of yourself, and I'm the same, and that's why you don't love me, because I'm not worthy. Oh, where did this block originate? Eight of Cups in reverse. Jesus. Seven of Swords in reverse. Knight of Swords in reverse. Wow. I can't make it up. I can't. Divine Masculine refusing to walk away from his past behaviors and focus on the feminine, refusing to do this. The things he was hiding or trying to get away with coming to light, but it not being him that communicated the messages. So this is not telling or not revealing himself with words or communication to the feminine that he wasn't going to walk away from whatever it was he needed to walk away from if he wanted to go towards his higher calling. So if this is, you know, another relationship, if it's behavior, if it's an addiction, if it's sexual addiction, if it's alcohol addiction, if it's this, if it's that, the other thing, it doesn't matter what this is. It matters to you because your ego is attached to the story that you're telling, but it doesn't matter what this is. If you are the masculine energy, which you are, you refuse to walk away from something. Information about this thing came to light anyway. but you didn't hear about it from the direct source. So the feminines either heard some gossip, which is what happened to me, and found out that my masculine actually wasn't walking away. He was staying exactly where he has always been. So this is definitely an obstacle for my masculine to overcome, because it would have been a lot nicer to hear it right straight from the horse's mouth. Okay. For some, it means that the truth is still, like, the mask started to come off in some way. So maybe you didn't hear something, but you just started to see it. Like, you started to realize it, because remember, the song says, oh, you took another look at me. I see you. I see you getting clear-headed now. Now you're not so in love with me anymore. Now this isn't just such a fantasy anymore. Now that you see who I really am, and that I am not honest, and that I am not in my integrity, and that I am not going towards my higher calling, or that I have not, this is in the past, that I have not been doing this. Now you see. And now that you see that, I am afraid that you know that me keeping you out in the cold is because I didn't have any palace to invite you into. There's no warmth here. Now you know. And just like I thought, just like, this is the masculine, I told you so. I told you once all my fears were revealed that you would leave me, because I have abandonment wounds. So I know that I must create situations in my life that will prove my lack of worthiness. I'm very good at it. It's one of the things I'm best at, proving my reality by telling the story to you, to everyone around me, over and over and over. How many times have I told my story about what my masculine just did to me? By the way, he didn't do it to me. He did it for me. Thank you. Thank you for showing me that you are not ready, because I would not have been happy if we were physical and then that happened. That would have been a real problem. And you know what? My masculine protected me from that. Kind of. He didn't protect me from the emotional wounds, because he sent me pictures of engagement rings while he's fucking someone else. But he protected me from having the physical connection with him and having that also happen, which I've had friends or querents who have come to me that have not been protected from that. So I guess I feel thankful for that. I do. Cool block, bro. Let's get rid of it. Where did the block originate? We already did that. How is this block currently manifesting in the 3D? Judgment. Damn sure. And the High Priestess. Oh, I'm a Leo, so I am absolutely allowed to be like, my readings are so accurate, but my readings are so accurate. This is crazy. And look, I shuffled the cards, right? So the universe is giving me these cards. And I guess I'm the universe, but whatever. Anyway, wow. Yes, this is how it's manifested. You just saw me judging my masculine. I can't stop doing it. I've been doing it every time I do readings. That's why I took a week off from readings. I'm like, if I do readings, all I'm going to do for a week is just like go in. It's 9:22 on the clock. And I just need to stop going in. I need to stop telling the story. Part of my problem is that my job is to tell the story for my job. And I thought about that a lot for the last week. I was like, do I do a new job? How do I move on from this situation if I keep having to tell the same story? I'm working on it. And that's what this card is about, the High Priestess. Right now, Divine Masculine is being judged pretty severely by the Divine Feminine energy, because the Divine Feminine energy has not been in shadow. So the Divine Masculine puts the feminine up on a pedestal. The feminine herself is putting herself on a pedestal, because now she's looking down at the masculine energy and being like, what did you do? Why did you do that? But the problem with that is the feminine is a balance. The feminine person, the person who identifies as a feminine. You are a balance of the masculine. So failure to reflect upon yourself and how you have done the same things. Because I cannot hold up these cards and not say that my masculine has not experienced this from me indirectly. I've never had I didn't directly do this to my masculine, just like he didn't directly do anything to me. But he has experienced finding out about shit I didn't tell him, about stuff that I had, messes that I didn't walk away from. It was a long time ago. What does it matter? Right? Not if I haven't forgiven myself or if that person hasn't forgiven me. Although it, again, wasn't to that person, but doesn't mean we don't take things personally. So the masculine has put the feminine on a pedestal and feels very judged. And the feminine, who's been burned, feels willing to judge. But this is also about reconciliation, salvation, and rebirth. So the way that this is actually manifesting in the 3D right now is that these very 5D, and by 5D I mean spiritual, telepathic, etc., these very ethereal, spiritual, heavy, really intense energies are physically manifesting in the 3D. So reconciliation, I'm sorry, divine feminine, is what is manifesting right now. What will help remove the block? The High Priestess and the Two of Pentacles. Wow. We're not even out of the masculine and we're getting seriously high level union. High Priestess in head and heart. In the masculine side, that looks like somebody who's balancing things out. That looks like somebody who's about ready to take accountability, responsibility, and make an apology. What will help remove it is choosing the divine feminine, choosing the eternal connection, choosing to honor it, choosing to no longer juggle any other energy, trusting the heart, trusting the intuition, choosing to trust the heart of your person. Don't pay attention to anything but their heart, because the heart is the only truth, right? And the Lover's card, the masculine material energy looks at the feminine spiritual energy who looks to the divine. So the masculine must assess the heart because the heart is tuned into the divine, or else there is no truth. Who or what should I release from my past to move on? 3 of Wands upright. This is waiting for a sign, waiting for some indication that it's time. You need to release this energy of waiting for a sign, because you saw that what would help remove your block is for you to just choose your feminine and making the feminine wait, because I feel this feminine energy coming from this hand. No communication ending. And oh my God, the 3 of Wands in reverse. Jesus Christ. What? Jesus Christ. So what should I learn? What should I release from my past to move on? You should release making the feminine wait for communication. I think the masculine has been waiting for the feminine to communicate, which doesn't make any sense because the feminine doesn't have any apologies to communicate at this time. The transgressions that have happened in the story for the feminine and masculine have fallen on the masculine's side. And it's not just, his addictions he has to come apologize for. He doesn't even really need to apologize for those things. What he has to apologize for is not communicating at all about any of it, ever. Avoidance. This is what he has to release. Avoidance. This is what he's refusing to walk away from, by the way. Avoidance. What can I learn from this current pause? The Four of Wands, marriage, celebration, twin flame union. No big. The Emperor, upright, who has a pearl, I might add, for my divine masculine, who's undoubtedly watching this today. Good morning. Anyway, pearl. Mm-hmm. Tower in reverse. And justice. This is what you can learn from the current pause. In this separation, you can learn how to embody the divine masculine attributes, not in shadow. Commitment, honoring commitments, keeping commitments, allowing yourself to feel happiness and joy. Understanding how your resistance to letting go of things that don't serve you has resulted in karmic lessons. That's what you're learning. Balancing from those towers, from those traumas that you've had, releasing the hold of the traumas that you've had in the past, and experiencing your karma, which doesn't happen after you die, because death is just a transitional part of energy. It's not going to be after you experience it now, and you continue to experience it as your consciousness evolves eternally until nirvana, if you're that lucky. What can I look forward to once the obstacle is removed? Well, no shit. The Six of Wands, there's those pearls again. And the Page of Wands, a fresh start, a fresh outlook. Good morning. A fresh, like a new spark, a new chemistry coming between the two of you. Great. Peace. This is bringing peace to the feminine. She's got a laurel crown on her head. Peace, right? Prosperity, abundance, the spoils of war, and the beginnings of communication, starting to communicate. Praise Jesus. Let's see it. Okay. Y'all were, by the way, I didn't mention it, but y'all were overthinking and overfeeling pretty much across the board. All right, divine feminine, it is your turn. Now, if you just listen to the masculine and you're a person who identifies as a feminine, and you're like, okay, I know what my masculine thinks, and then you turn off. Okay, but this isn't gender. So the feminine energy that I'm talking about, while you may identify strongly with it, the person that you're focused on is composed of both energies. So that person is also going to have elements of the feminine energy within them. Some of the feelings, thoughts, those are going to be the same. And if you listened to the masculine side and didn't make those connections with your own energy, like I tried to do as I do it, go back and listen again and try to think about it as if you were feeling those things. And maybe it won't be about the person you're focused on or something, but there might be something in your life, your career, your friendships, your relationships with your family, where you act very similarly and you need to shift how you behave. So just letting you know that before we go now into the feminine side. All right. This is divine feminine's general energy, where she's feeling blocked, what the feelings are around that block. Six of Swords upright and the 10 of Wands upright. So divine feminine in her head, she's like, I gotta go. I thought there was going to be me and the divine masculine here in the boat sailing off happily ever after, but I don't know who this is in the boat. I can't even tell who it is. I don't know who that is. It doesn't have a shirt on. I'm assuming it's the masculine energy, but like, I don't know. My friends are weird. Like, I don't know who's in this boat with me at this shore, uncertain. So if I move on, I don't know where I'm going. And I'm feeling this burden of having to move on. And I'm frustrated because I feel my throat chakra is about to start up. I feel, and this is also communication, expressing, I feel so much like I need to put this burden down. And I'm frustrated that it's me that carries the weight of having to move on. That this person I'm focused on is so avoidant that the only thing that I can do is become incredibly avoidant. That runner chaser cycle, now I have to run. But this time I want it to be complete. I don't want to leave this time and come back, right? I want to just put that burden down and not cycle anymore. That's where I'm feeling stuck. It's like, I want to move on, but how can I move on if this person is still if I still carry this person with me? And it could also be, I want to move to the next level. I want to go from this place where we've been in all of this strife and struggle, and I want to move to the next place. If you're going to communicate with me, fucking communicate. Let's fucking figure it out. Like, there's a frustration, really strong frustration here of being like, I also feel, I keep on saying, I'm like this, and there's this, and there's this. This is feminine. And that's what's happening in her headspace too. She's like, and then there's this, and there's the other thing, and there's this too. It feels like almost like we are holding, you know how you're like, it's like you're holding the boat from going forward by holding on to these swords. That's there too. Okay. Here's the actual obstacle. The Ace of Wands upright. This is what you desire very strongly. This can be sexual desire, passion, creativity. It's like it's a single focused energy. It's very powerful. And the Princess of Swords in reverse, curiosity. This card says. This is not having courage, not being brave enough to look honestly at something. It can also be about spying, being curious about something and watching. This can be looking at social media. It can be, constantly doing that. So Divine Feminine, she wants to stop. Her burden is that she wants to stop seeing. It's interesting because while I'm seeing like what happens when my eyes are closed, the thing that is popping into my mind is how on my Instagram app I have my Pearl and the Prayers profile, I have my Tuned In Tarot profile, I have like a private, my original Instagram I barely use that. I just pretty much use that for like my friends from my childhood or like personal DMs kind of thing. And then I have a private profile. And the private profile I used exclusively to look at my masculine energy. And when I closed my eyes, the thing that I was seeing myself doing is, you know how on Instagram you touch the profile and you touch it a couple times and it goes back and forth between your profiles. I know all of you have a fucking private profile on here. 100. So you know what I'm talking about. I'll do it and be like, why am I even looking? I don't want to even look, but I'm just so habitually used to doing it. So Divine Feminine, I'm seeing that. Like, I'm seeing that there is a social media thing, but what I'm really seeing is much deeper than that. It's not that surface level thing. That's almost like my sign. It's like my clarifying card for what is underlying that. Divine Feminine, you are desperate to see a transformation in the masculine energy. So your block is that you are so passionate about not seeing what you don't want to see, which is causing you to see what you don't want. Oh, that's so hard to understand or explain. But it's like if I said, stop thinking about the pink elephant, you have to think of a pink elephant to stop thinking about it. So the feminine, this is her block. She doesn't want to see the masculine acting a fool, but she wants to see it, the masculine change. So she can't figure out how to move on because she can't stop looking at him, but she can't stop seeing the way he looked before, which is this burden that she wants to leave. But she's just like, if only I could see a transformation. And it's just, oh, I feel it, feminine. Okay, let's get rid of this for you. Jesus. Where did this block originate? I don't understand. I thought I wanted to be a rock star for my whole life. And then one day the pandemic came and this became my new job. And now I'm like, how did I ever do anything else? Because what the hell? Where did this block originate? The Two of Cups. And it's not just any Two of Cups. It's this Two of Cups from the Fountain, which is my favorite. The Two of Cups. What else? The Queen of Cups. What else? The Hanged Man. And I'm using the Fountain and the Field Tarot. These are like, I love these together. And this Field Tarot has words at the bottom of all the cards. And for Queen of Cups, it says intuition. And for the Hanged Man card, they add the word perspective instead of calling it the Hanged Man. And then this. This is a fascinating place for the block to have originated. This block of really desperately needing to see the masculine transform his energy, but not wanting to look at the masculine at all because we don't want to see that he's still here in this Hanged Man energy. And of course, this is a card about perspective. This is about gaining perspective. And what she's gaining perspective on is her over empathy, her compassionate state, right? That she loves him. But the problem with this Two of Cups is that they are both reaching for her cup. And this masculine has to reach for his own cup. Because I just did a personal reading today and their outcome card was the Ace of Cups. And it was a cup that was standing straight up. And it was a really great way for me to illustrate. And I was like, think about it this way. You have a cup, right? Your Ace of Cups is your cup. This is your love. It is your self-love. And you're holding it like this. If you're an eternal child, it's a sippy cup. It's fine. But it's open, right? Let's fully illustrate. It's open. My cup must remain like this, straight up and down, so that I can receive inspiration from the divine. And so right now my cup's half full. And I'm thinking to myself, I need more in my cup. I need more in my cup. So what do I do? Well, I can get it right from the divine, which means I have to do some things. I have to listen, which was her song, by the way, today, was listen from the deepest part of self. I have to listen to what I actually need. I have to identify, what do I want in here? Do I want more of this coffee? Do I want, my coffee, I put, to the top of the R, we do cold brew. Then we do coconut water. And then after the coconut water, we do this much-ish of some kind of flavored non-dairy creamer. All right, that's how I roll, in case you're wondering. So what do I want to add now? I've got it half full. Do I want more coffee? Do I need more energy? Do I need more sweetness? Do I need more hydration? Do I need to actually satiate myself? What do I need? What do I need to add more of? Well, so I have to tune in and figure that out. Be like, this is honestly a little sweet. I think I need a little bit more activity in my life. I think I need a little more coffee. This is a great analogy. I'm loving this. All right, I'm going to get some more coffee. I have an option. I can go to Starbucks, get my coffee, tip my cup, and be like, hey, can you fill my cup up? But then I have to go pay them to do it every time. I could get my own coffee, and make my own coffee. I'm going to have to do that. You know what? I do that now, and my coffee tastes way better than the shit that I was trying to always get from Starbucks. But whatever. I could literally even buy Starbucks coffee and make it myself. So I can get my own coffee, make my own coffee, fill my own coffee up. And that's the best way to do it. I don't need to rely on Starbucks. Starbucks is going to have to rely on somebody else for them to get their needs met. I've got my needs met. And my needs were met because I tuned into what I needed. I asked the universe. The universe is like, you need coffee. And I was like, what is the best way for me to get coffee? The universe is like, honestly, the best way is you make yourself as cheap as it's going to taste the best. I'm like, all right, I'll do that. And now I have, let's pretend my coffee cups, now it's all full. It's not too sweet. It's hydrating enough. I've got enough energy. And I made a lot of coffee. And so I'm like pouring the coffee. I'm like, shit, this is going to overflow. Perfect. If there's anybody around, I can be like, yo, I have too much coffee. You want some of this energy I've got for you? Here, let me just bring your cup over here. It's literally overflowing. Just catch it over here on the side. There you go. Have a nice day. I didn't have to tip it. I didn't have to empty it. I didn't have to get rid of anything in my cup. I just had my cup. My cup was full and there was extra. And the people around me were like, yay, there's extra coffee. She made too much coffee. The universe gave her too much abundance and she can share it now. So that is what you're doing with your cup. If you're tipping your cup to receive from someone else because you fear you can't give it to yourself, your picture is going to look something like this, right? But what if you don't even know about your own cup? You're like, oh, I don't have a cup. I'm just going to, that cup looks pretty good. She'll probably just share that cup with me. I'm sorry. That's not how it works. So this is why we're blocked. Because the masculine energy that you are focused on, that you want to see transform, this whole time, he was reaching for your cup and you were letting him do it. But it's all right. That's what I'm here for. Let's see how this is manifesting in the 3D. I hate this. So your block, which is like, I have a strong desire to see a masculine energy that looks way different than the one I was looking at this whole time. For Christ's sake, what is happening because of that? 10 of Pentacles, upright. And the 7 of Cups, upright. Bitches got options. And they don't look specific like anything. Guess what? The masculine side is where. His 10 of Pentacles is in reverse because he has had to release his idea of material happiness because his idea of material happiness was built on a fantasy, not a solid foundation. Remember, that's you, right? You built your happiness on a fantasy. Now you know the fantasy is a fantasy. So now you have to be like, that person I thought was supposed to be in this picture, that person was doing this, and I don't want that. So I guess I better look at my options. And what was Divine Masculine song? It was Divine Feminine's looking at her options. Now, I want to ask you a hard question. Feminines who identify strongly in feminine energy and identify their masculine person as a masculine energy, do you feel that this is true about you? Because remember, I told you, the person you're focused on is experiencing this block with you too. So the block originated for your person because you were trying to get him to fill your cup, which is why when he went and tried to fill his cup, you got upset about it. I'm just the reader. All right, let's remove the block. Damn it, I dripped coffee. Oh, well, it was worth it. That analogy was great. Okay. What will help remove it? No way. The High Priestess. The High Priestess, which was the same exact thing that would help remove the masculine's block. Now look at this. 3 out of 4 decks spit out the High Priestess, and we're not done yet. We might end up seeing this card come out from the Field Tarot. Shocking! What's really exciting about this is the High Priestess, when she came out with for the masculine, what would help remove his block is choosing the feminine, choosing the eternal connection, correct? Choosing to trust the feminine as well. Choosing to trust the feminine energy to make the right decision. So this is the masculine being like, I know my feminine has options, but I know that my feminine trusts her intuition. And I know that even though my feminine has options, she will choose me. I know she will choose me. That will help masculine remove this block of being afraid that the feminine will not find him worthy. Believing he is worthy of being chosen will help him. What will help divine feminine remove her block of no longer trying to, this is also being afraid of what she desires. It's all the things I said. It's looking and seeing and not wanting to see this person be in a place where he's not changing. Excuse me. But it's also just being afraid of what she desires, being afraid of what she wants. So what will help her is if she trusts herself to know who this King of Pentacles, this is the one, who this person is. I know who this person is. I know who this person is. My divine masculine can remove his block by knowing that I know who my person is. Deeply. I know that. So what will help divine feminine is trusting what she knows. It will remove this block of being afraid of what she desires. Who or what should I release from my past to move on? I can't. It's so frustrating. 2 of Wands upright. And the 5 of Coins in reverse. And the 4 of Swords. And look at, y'all heard what I said about drummers, right? Okay. What will help release it is if the feminine, this is in the headspace, if the feminine, or this is what will help release it. Hi, Christina. It is what she should release from her past, rather. So this is, for me, this, for a lot of us, it's this twin flame label thing that comes with the 2 of Wands. You know, it's ironic that I say, oh, you have to release that label. And literally that is what I teach. Like, yeah, I teach the twin flame journey, but it's the label that has to be removed. It's the attachment to the story that goes with the label, because the storyline that goes with the twin flame label isn't a good one. The storyline that goes with the twin flame label is that you're always in separation. It's this constant storytelling of separation, because the separation is where you transform, right? It is in separation. Look at how freaking adorable Bowie is. Oh my God. It is in separation that you do your transformation. So that's why it's such a big part of the story. But divine feminine has to let go of that story of separation in order for her to be able to remove this block of being afraid that she desires the twin, because she fears that desiring the twin is going to keep her out in the cold. But for me, it's releasing any other options and having faith. This 4 of Swords is about faith. It's also about resting and remaining silent not expressing. So the feminine is like waiting around for someone else to bring her out of the cold. She needs to bring herself out of the cold. She might also need to bring another energy out of the cold. My energy is all unblocked. He can come in whenever he wants to. Like that, there's no blocking going on for that person in my life at this point in time. So, but there are some of us that are still blocking. I am not communicating though. So I would likely need to release this not communicating in order to be able to remove this block, because not communicating shows that I fear what I desire, and I'm not ready to communicate. So I know that this is still an issue for me. So that's what needs to be released. And then what I can learn from this current pause is the 7 of Pentacles, patience, and the 6 of Wands, success. Good things take time. The masculine energy is he has to do what you already did. And if you don't want to wait for him to do that, that's on you. That's not on him. It's not his job to speed up something that is a natural process that he has to go through. It's your job to tend to yourself and your own success at this time and harvest. I just posted at 9:55 on the clock here. I just posted a Instagram reel the other day, and a comment I got on it said, "Where's my harvest, bro?" And I love that, because that's one of the, I'd like, "Where's my offer, bro?" is one of the first things I ever started saying when I started doing this job. But I responded, "Which field are you looking in?" Basically, I said, "Are you looking in the apple orchards, waiting for the apples to appear, and you've completely neglected that all the roses have bloomed? Or did you only tend to your roses and you didn't actually care for the fields that had all the vegetables that were planted that were going to feed you through the winter?" Like, harvesting, when you're harvesting, there's not one thing to harvest. There's many things. So tend to your own harvest, Divine Feminine. Let the masculine tend to his and be at peace. This is a card of bringing peace. Remember, the masculine bringing peace to the feminine through the initiation of communication. How is that going to happen? In time. After the masculine patiently tends to these wounds. My sense is that a massive tower moment has happened. Really big, powerful tower moment that caused a lot of karmic cycles to complete. After that, this manifestation of this reconciliation in the 3D is happening right now. So, Divine Feminine, take your focus off of what the masculine is doing. Let him tend to things and just focus on yourself. That's what you can learn. What you can look forward to once the obstacle is removed. I am dead. The King of Cups, who was in Monday's reading, if you caught it, and the Ace of Cups, love. Now, for some, this is new love, new person. But for others, this is a new love after reconnecting with this very good king who's just not very communicative. But this is the king in his light. So an offer of love. So if you can stop being afraid of what you desire, this person can offer you something. Let's look at the oracles so we can help heal even further these wounds. And I'm doing census obstacles removed today. I decided to do sexual release and also opening and closing doors, which we all love to do. So let's go ahead and start. For the masculine energy, what is blocking sacred sexual union? This means this isn't just sex or having sex. This is what blocks you from having sacred sexual union. Right now, it is the Queen of Swords in reverse. Now, this can represent an external individual that the masculine has manifested to represent an internal state. So this masculine may have had a sexual trauma, and the feminine energy within himself became very aggressive and rigidly emotionally detached from sex. And this can cause a person to have sexual addiction. So for the masculine, he's needing to release this block of being too emotionally detached from sex, being too much in the headspace about it. I also think that whatever wounds he may have inflicted on the feminine energy that he wants to be with, he has to release his fear that she will not want him sexually. I think he feels like he's turned off the feminine, turned off the sexual desire in the feminine. What will help him release this block? Death in reverse. So we saw that death is upright here. So believing that there is no second chance. Also, by the way, this judgment card is a second chance with the feminine as well. So believing there isn't another opportunity to transform is holding him back. So releasing this fear that he's not going to be able to rekindle the fire with the feminine. He feels like, he's turned her off so much that it's going to take quite a lot to like rekindle her desire, but he can release that fear. The door that divine masculine needs to close is this hermit energy. And I love this hermit because it shows the feminine in the 5D trying to give the masculine this abundance, and he's rejecting it and instead staying alone. So what will open this door of the masculine rejecting feminine and instead remaining alone is the 8 of Cups, is if he finally walks away from his false paradise. This is where he's been hermiting in this, it's not actually a good place. It's just a fantasy. And instead actually being able to walk and face the obstacles in front of you and head towards the light. This will open the masculine up to be able to come back and reunite for that second chance. And I'm blown away because I told you I did a tell me everything spread for a client this morning. And this card was the masculine's card. It was in reverse for her, the protection message, but the light message is coming out. And where did I put the book? Oh, there it is. So things coming to light, truth transcending illusion. So divine masculine, this message is for you. It is the 22 card, which is union. Dragonfly spirit is here to remind you of the wisdom and truth available at all times in the hidden realms. Just as a dragonfly catches your eye with its reflective wings and body, dragonfly spirit appears to tell you to pay attention to the truth beyond the illusion and recognize the insights that come seemingly out of nowhere, peeking through from behind the veil. In the realm of spirit, there is far more wisdom than you can perceive with your senses. And there is a deeper knowing that you are not separate or alone, for a higher power recognizes you and loves you beyond measure. Fears dissipate as you realize you are embraced by the nurturing force that is everywhere, always in communication with you. Alighting when you are preoccupied, dragonfly spirit offers this message. You exist in unity with all, including the protective spirits who share their wisdom, and you are being nudged along the path your soul needs to travel to have the experience it craves. Love exists in many forms, and sometimes we overlook it when we don't recognize a particular form. Pay attention to the signs now. They remind you that each of us have inspired dreams seamlessly sewn into the fabric of the invisible world, and there is a great consciousness that exists in the seemingly empty spaces, guiding us on our journey. Open to the truth, letting the wisdom of the hidden realms inform you, providing insights your conscious mind overlooks. Divine Masculine, you are getting the telepathy of Terra Mater. I actually just got this card for the spiritual nourishment course. This is a high priestess card, basically. It is number 36 because it's about listening to the vibrations that come from the mother earth. Terra Mater. What is it? 36. The pathway for your spiritual fulfillment and the sacred manifestation of your purpose is not necessarily logical and will evolve organically. The skillful and unpredictable workings of the Earth Mother are supporting your soul journey unconditionally, following up on inspired ideas and allowing for unexpected shifts in direction are integral to the manifestation of your soul purpose. Commit to an idea that feels good to your heart. Even if it seems improbable or unattainable, it will manifest successfully. Don't let your intellect stifle your imagination. Trust in the inspired idea, unconventional guidance, and heart-honoring intuitions that occur to you. Earth Mother will heal your soul and speak to your heart through the telepathic transmitter of your body. Take time to tune into your body and to her guiding genius. So more high priestess energy. So much. Divine Masculine. I don't think I've ever gotten this card in the Thoth Tarot, but this is your theme for the week. It is the 6 of Cups. It is healing the past and reuniting. And it would be a lovely time of year to reunite. All right, let's do the oracles for the feminine, and then we will close with the oracles for the union. For the feminine, what is blocking sacred sexual energy for the feminine? The 8 of Wands. This is being closed off. This is needing to open yourself up to your opportunities. You're cuffing yourself. You're blocking yourself, right? Remember what was manifesting in the 3D from your block right now, because you're afraid of what your desire is, that you're confused about which option to choose. So that confusion is kind of causing you to send mixed messages about your sexuality. You're like, I'm available, but I don't have sex with anyone except for my masculine. What will help remove that? This is an interesting energy because you could look at this 2 ways. This is the 10 of Swords in reverse. You could say what will help remove this is if you stop focusing on the separation. The other element here is if you stop focusing on betrayal, meaning both the betrayal that you received in the past when you were in sacred sexual or wanted to be in sacred sexual union, and the potential that you could betray someone in the present. You are not in any understanding with anyone. So whoever comes to you with an open heart and wants to share in sacred sexual experiences with you, you're absolutely free to do so. So really, this is, releasing the prison of the mind. When the separation ends with your person, that's a green light, but you keep yourself in separation with your person by focusing on the separation and the betrayals. The door that you need to open is the 9 of Cups, Divine Feminine. And this is this feeling that this masculine is very selfish. He will not share with you. He will continue to hoard everything, and he will only give you scraps so that you are like this loyal bitch begging for scraps at the master's table. Death. We got the death card 3 times. Masculine actually had it for his sacred sexual energy. The door to open to your wish fulfillment, divine feminine, is to let something die that you have been holding on to and grieving, and leaving the cemetery and walking out of the gate and going into the land of the living. So fully allowing your grief over this betrayal, feeling it, processing it, and transforming the grief of that betrayal into gratitude. And if that sounds impossible right now, that's okay. You don't have to accomplish this today or tomorrow or even in a year. But if you can't find a way to be grateful for the betrayal, you'll stay in the cemetery grieving. The betrayal showed you that you were only receiving scraps, which caused you to transform your concept of self, which was what Masculine's song was about today. His song was about, I see you, you're clear-headed. And now that you're clear-headed, what's clear is I'm actually the dog begging for scraps now. You're the one at the table with all of the options. So you've got to let that grief go. You've got to let that die. You can't hold on to it anymore. Did it hurt? Yes. Losing a picture of something material hurts. It hurts so much. There's no denying that there was pain. Even the masculine isn't denying your pain. The masculine embraces that you experience this pain. The pain is shared, because when the masculine betrays you, the masculine betrays himself. How do we know that? The masculine energy got the High Priestess card 3 times. The High Priestess is the divine masculine. He betrayed himself. If he trusted himself, he would never have done such a thing to cause such pain. Right? So there's no denying the pain. There's no denying the grief. And you should honor the grief. That's why we wear black after our loved ones have passed. That's why we cover our mirrors. We do things in different cultures to emphasize the pain and the grief, and to honor it and to respect it, and to acknowledge that there was something lost. You did lose something. But when something is lost, it makes space for something new to be received in its place. You are getting Hawk Spirit, which is let spirit be your guide. Are you noticing? Wait, was this? Oh, it was this way. Flying high above the landscape, the hawk sees both the big picture and the small details. However, he observes the rain and the pond as well as the cloud and doesn't miss anything. When Hawk Spirit arrives, you are called to pay close attention to messages from Spirit that can appear anywhere in any form. Listen to your intuition and keep your eyes open for synchronicities, the meaningful coincidences. Hawk Spirit asks you not to dismiss the signs that Spirit is sending to guide you. Lately, have you been hearing the same word or song, or coming across the same symbol here, there, and in the strangest places? Perhaps you hear a song on the radio with just the right lyric pertaining to your query, or you begin to notice uncanny billboards, license plates, or other places where repetitive numbers or words show up for you to notice. Pay attention to the animals that appear for you and connect with their symbolism. Spirit wants to communicate and reaches out again and again. When Hawk Spirit appears, it is a sign to listen. And also, your song for today, Feminine, was Listen. It was like, what was it called? Listening as a mindful practice. So listen to the divine. You're receiving guidance. The other thing that's coming up for me is when you're stuck on the details of something. That's why when I pull up a card that represents third-party energy and I'm very dismissive, I'm like, it could be a karmic partner, it could be a job, it could be a career, it could be like, the sexual addiction, it could be drugs, it could be this, it could be that, it could be everything. It doesn't matter. And you're like, wait, no, that matters. It matters. And I'm like, no. It's details. Details, schmetails. It doesn't matter. If this person has sexual addiction and this person has alcohol addiction and this person has a karmic partner and this person has a career thing, probably this person has all of those things, any one of those things. And if all you're really worried about is whether or not he's fucking somebody else, because that's the detail that your ego wants to latch onto. That's the detail you want. Admit it. You either want to know that that's happening or know that it's not happening so that your ego will calm the fuck down. But your ego doesn't know shit about shit. Your ego is like, oh, that person fucked somebody else, when really the problem has nothing to do with the person fucking somebody else. The much deeper core wound that is causing that person not only to fuck someone else, but to choose their career over you, to not prioritize you, to resent you because you represent the thing that they cannot be. That is much, much, much bigger problem than where his dick is going. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. Your ego is convinced it does, but it doesn't. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. It just happened to me. I was like, excuse me, what the fuck is this? What the fuck? My ego is fucking super like, bitch, if I had seen my person in living flesh within the first 3 days of finding that information out, this card would be true in the way that we don't really mean for it to be true. I wouldn't have been able to restrain my anger, my ego, and I'm a lion, so it wouldn't have been pretty. I was like, I'm going to ruin him for 3 days. And then I was like, whatever, what a waste of my time, which is the worst thing a Leo can do to you, by the way. This is how a Leo fucks you. First, they're incredibly angry. And then if they really aren't going to let go of a grudge, and this is how you'll know, Leos forgive very easily. They've never forget, but they forgive. But if they're not going to forgive you, here's how you'll know. You will disappear from their mind, from their life. You will be erased. And when you do appear, they will forget you. And it is so like drastic that they will literally see you in public and not recognize you. It is so rare for Leos who are extremely loyal to do this, but it is, of course, in a Leo's mind, the worst punishment. What could be worse than a Leo never giving a fuck about you again? So you'll know. If you're written off, you'll be written off, babe. Anyway, let's heal the feminine. But I just wanted to point that out because we get really focused on the details of what happened in the betrayal. And the betrayal is a betrayal. And it's a betrayal that the person did to themselves. And then you were collateral damage. And it is a betrayal that is causing you to acknowledge, hopefully, if you're in a state of awareness, that you must have a wound from your childhood that reflects a similar type of belief where this type of treatment between people is normalized. So being betrayed, being lied to, having secrets, that's normal. Like your parents did it, or, your grandparents, or you were lied to in a drastic way. And it can be really small. Like I've said before that, like my parents telling me about Santa Claus not being real was a betrayal. I know that sounds stupid, but when you're a little kid, that is a betrayal. That's a betrayal. Your parents lied to you about something random. Like, hopefully no kids are listening to this, but Santa's real. Never mind. Anyway, so, okay, here we go. Divine Feminine. You are getting the Dakini of Infinite Life. This is number 9. Love potion number 9. Hey, my voice is coming back. I can probably sing soon. I'm so grateful. Divine Feminine. Seek and ye shall find. Oh, somebody just asked, can we be a divine karmic? It's an interesting question. it's interesting because a lot of times I'll read readers and they'll accidentally call the karmic of like the divine feminine. They'll be like, oh no, just the feminine, you know? And I'm like, what? No. Right now, whichever person your masculine dipped his stick into, that person is a divine feminine. She might be a baby one. She might have no idea about her divinity. She might not have a calling in this life to awaken to it, or she might. And I mean, you know, you could be the third party. Here's the thing that happens sometimes in this collective that people don't like to realize when they're starting to get these readings and they're like, my masculine has a third party, da 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 da. And then they recognize that the person that they focus on is not really their person, and they're the third party energy, and their person is a karmic, and they haven't even met their twin, or they don't know their twin. So you've been a karmic most likely and not known it. Dakini of infinite light. Seek and you shall find. Find the teachers and teachings which feel pure to your heart. But remember, it is the inner truth of you that will ultimately set you free. Do not give your power away, but do trust in a greater guiding wisdom at work in all aspects of your life. Ask for help from enlightened spiritual beings in any matter of concern, and help shall be granted. Believe all problems can be resolved, and a more graceful life experience is opening up for you now. The oracle of the Dakini of infinite light augurs an increase of light in your life. This can include a lightening up after a difficult time, an increase of clarity from a helpful healing and higher perspective, or a clear positive path opening up through a troublesome time. Her appearance signifies sacred victory. Call upon her and do not give up. Wow. It's so interesting because the masculine got dragonfly spirit about things coming to light, and this victory being secured by the initial sparks, light, right, of communication, so that peace can finally be achieved. So I don't do predictive readings because for me, I believe in the ability to shift energy. I believe in miracles. So how can I predict a miracle? Because a miracle requires a shift in consciousness from one timeline to another. So I don't really believe in predictive readings being that beneficial, since things can change in a minute. And but I do believe that this reading is suggesting that the masculine energy has reached a tipping point and is manifesting this reconciliation in the 3D and communication to spark peace, some kind of a truce with this feminine, at the very least. If that's, it's kind of like an energy of feeling like if peace is the only thing that I can get, meaning like if it's just friendship or something, I would rather that than this person who I admire so much thinks so poorly of me. Like I can't bear that anymore. And I want this person to see me in the best light because I want to believe I can see myself in that light. I do feel that energy coming from the masculine at this time. So the final card for the feminine is the block she was afraid of. This is the Ace of Wands. This is what you want and what you desire. And what do you want, Divine Feminine? Let me guess. Reunion with the masculine energy and material happiness. If you're afraid that that's what you want, then of course you can't have it. So you need to get clarity about what you really want. All right, we're at the end where we're going to now close out with the final oracle cards for the union. This is where I will give you some announcements. Holy moly, definitely stay tuned for these cards. Okay, I'll just give you a few announcements. So personal reading. You can book a personal version of this reading for the next few days. It's going to be probably until about the 31st of December. My prices on my website are as they appear. After the first or on the first of the year, those prices are going to change. The current price of the virtual sessions, which are $150 right now, those are going to be $330 because I can't do them in under 2 hours. So if you want a personal session, you will get me for 2 hours. There will be payment plans. There will be like a firm. There'll be different options like that. But I'm really pulling back on how many virtual sessions I do because there is so much required of me from that, and I can't do it as much as I do and still do my other work. So that's changing very drastically. However, obstacles removed, custom reading, release and rebuild, the divine check-in, all of the ones that are currently listed as separate readings, that current price is, you can book those and you can see me over a Zoom call right now until the 31st. And you can book something later. Like you can book something in February with the current price. But after the price changes, I will no longer be doing those virtual sessions for that price. But all of those readings will still be available. It'll just be a pre-recorded reading. So it'll be personal. Like it'll be like this reading I just did, but it will be to you and you can give me any information you might need so that I can do the reading for you personally. So you're still going to be able to book a personal reading. It's just not going to be face-to-face. And that personal reading price is not going to change, or the personal pre-recorded price is not going to change drastically at all. So it's still going to be affordable. There will always be the $44 Tell Me Everything spread and the $33 one question reading as far as I know right now. So that's staying in place after the holidays. The big thing that I have to share with you is that you can now become a member and support me for $3.33 a month and have access to the Tell Me Everything readings that I do. The mini ones I do on TikTok, I do the full-length versions of those. You can go back into my YouTube in history and find different versions of Tell Me Everything. I'm going to be offering those exclusively on my website. So you can go become a member there. There's going to be other benefits. There's a message board. So it's fun. So that's available. The other thing, if you would like to take a self-directed month-long course on becoming the divine feminine, you can join the program. It's in the program section on the website. You have to click more, I think, and it's listed there, called Spiritual Nourishment, Becoming the Empress. It's the first part of the course. It's 4 principles of intuitive eating. And I also discuss pleasure adornment. And I'm going to share with you the description of the course so that you know what to expect. I think I can do that. Hang on. I need to get the freaking document that it is in. Why? Show me the money. Hang on. I'm having so many technical difficulties today. Here we go. Overview. Thank you. Learn to embody the intuitive nourishment of the divine feminine energy within self. This course is for anyone who may have struggled with tuning into our divine right to pleasure, nourishment, and adornment. This course begins with exploring methods to heal disordered eating patterns, food and body image anxiety, and restrictive beliefs about deprivation and health. Students will explore the first 4 principles of intuitive eating alongside mindfulness techniques, journal prompts, past life regression exploration, and ritual magical practices that enhance our connection to the divine mother energy and allow us to truly begin to retrieve and nourish our souls. Together, Pearl and Ash here at Tuned in Tarot have created a magical journey to assist you in tuning into your heart's most authentic self. Through the symbolic language of the tarot and recommended reading from a plethora of enlightening resources, and through the wisdom and guidance of the Divine Mother, we hope you find your way to a renewed sense of the power of feminine intuition and your ability to surrender to the peace of believing in the language of your own cravings, desires, passions, and emotions. That is launching tomorrow. And it's the soft launch, so it's gonna probably go through a little bit of tweaks and stuff, but on the first of the year, that's when the actual hard launch happens. If you purchase it during the soft launch for $55, you're gonna get a code so that you can give it to a friend as a gift or share the cost if you want and do it as a buddy system together. So it's only gonna cost you like $25-ish. I don't know exactly. I can't do math. It's not going to be 55. It's half of 55 or whatever. So if you're interested in that, go to the site, click request approval, and I'll send you the invitation to go ahead and join. And that's launching tomorrow. All right. Sorry about the long announcements. Hopefully after this, I won't have to do these long announcements anymore. Okay. Let's finish this final message. Groundhog spirit, time to let go. 31. This is appropriate in an obstacles remove spread. Usually the obstacle is not letting go of something. Endings lead to beginnings, and death is a part of life. So Groundhog Spirit is here to let you know that it is time to accept the natural ending of something that is no longer serving you. We love to hold on to what is familiar, but the new needs space to arrive so growth can occur. When Groundhog Spirit appears, it is a sign that there is something in your present situation that you need to let go of so that something new can be born, something that will far better serve you now. When the groundhog sees his shadow, he retreats to his den. So too might you yearn for a little more time to say goodbye and transition into the new. However, change is coming and it is good. So let go of your resistance. Spring brings many blessings, and what must die will always be reborn in a new form that will be right for you. Life requires change and detachment. Say farewell to whatever once served you and get ready for something amazing to take its place. Spirit is already sending it your way. That's for the both of you. All right. Your healing card for today is Ishtar's Lion's Gate, 888. It's like the Lion's Gate portal there. It is the 44 card. Oh my God. Oh my God. One of my friends last night went on a date with this person she's been casually referring to as her future husband so that she doesn't have to mentally process actually liking that person, by the way. Anyway, she called me from the car ride home and was like, his birthday is 4/4. And I was like, oh my God, stop. All right. Your heart has a heightened connection with the higher realms of consciousness and light. A blessing, empowerment, and positive omen shall enter your world. Doors will open for you. Abundance and prosperity are headed your way. Take care of your heart, ask for spiritual assistance, and it shall be granted. Something negative is going to transform into something very positive. This oracle brings a message of a breakthrough and healing, of a significant lightening up of your life and the end of a deeply challenging cycle in your life. There is a special divine dispensation augured by the oracle of Ishtar's Lion's Gate, 888, where hope has been difficult to find or all seems lost. The light shall return and beautiful blessings are destined to unfold in your life. Looking forward. So, your card, your theme for this week to focus on is the Three of Cups. Reunion, celebration, having a good time. This is appropriate for this season, but I think it's interesting because it fully illustrates what I said with my whole coffee cup analogy that took an hour. There's the coffee cup, right? And there's the overflow, and there's the cups that can catch it. There are two cups here. This can be a card that is associated with third-party energy, but this is where you must focus. So you must focus on, if your masculine had another third-party energy that wasn't you, divine feminine, this wasn't happening. This was happening. Right? So you all need to get this cup full if you want to be able to have any joy in your life. So make sure that you are focused on filling your cup. However, you must do that and use what the divine gives you. Use the tools, use the opportunity. Take the opportunities that are being given to you right now and manifest your abundance. And understand that there are myriad ways to experience material happiness, not just one person with one label. I can tell that after I watch this reading, I still won't know exactly what to do. I hope you don't feel that way. But if you do, I will be back. I will be back on Friday with the Release and Rebuild spread. For those of you that end up joining and becoming members today or tomorrow, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I will see you tomorrow for the Tell Me Everything spread on my website instead of on YouTube. And for those of you that don't intend to become a member or you're not ready to purchase or do a personal reading at this time, please feel free to peruse all of the free readings that I have available to you. There are literally hundreds here on this channel as well as over on Instagram. And I also read on TikTok, and I do live reads and I do free reads on TikTok also, so you can catch me over there. And if you want to just click support to send a gratuity for this reading, or just to support me through the holiday season. I had a rough week last week. I had bereavement and I had to stop working. So any and all help is so appreciated as I move into the new year. Hopefully with this new course and the support on the website, I will be looking at a much more healthy financial outlook for 2022, but you are part of that for me. So thank you so much for all of you who have been here and supported me, staying the whole time and doing all of your healing. God bless. Goddess bless. I shall see you all on Friday. Take care.